Alright, hey guys, I am Jenna from Sincerely Jenna Marie, and this is my first go at kind of a video tutorial, so forgive me if it's the most awkward thing you've ever witnessed. I brush my teeth like 5 times before starting this. It feels like a first date or something, but here goes. I'm going to walk you through what I do for my everyday makeup routine, because right now I'm not wearing any. And then I'll take it a step further and show you what I wear for the vlog, because let's get real, I'm wearing vlog makeup like 2 days a week. If you run into me at the grocery store, I probably won't even have on mascara, but when I do put on mascara, I think I do a pretty darn good job. So I have a dog on my lap, forgive me. So I'm going to walk you through step by step what I do. And what I'm going to do so you can kind of see a comparison is just do half of my face. So that way you can tell kind of the differences that each little step makes. And then at the end, I'll speed through doing the other half and you can see the final picture. But I will start with my foundation. I have really greasy skin. And so if I use liquid foundation, it slides off in like 20 minutes. So I use powder. More specifically, I use Jane Iredale powder. It's got SPF included, which I love. It's a little pricey, but it lasts a long time, and once you buy the little gold thing, you can refill the powder inside, which is also a plus. And I will link all of the products that I use below the video, so in case you are looking for one, or in case I say it wrong or so forth, you can find it. So I use the sponge applicator that comes with it. I grab bronzer. I use a lot of Arbonne products because they're all natural, which I really like, and my mom sells them, which makes them really easy to get a hold of. So I use bronzer and do a little bit of contouring on my cheek. I use a blush brush for this. I can't link you guys to my brushes. I love them, but they are from a company called Truco that no longer exists, most of them. I got my first brush set when I was 13 and it was about $200, and I am still using it more than 10 years later today. So they're pretty awesome. But unfortunately I can't really give you recommendations. I would just recommend invest in your brush set, because like I said, I've used mine for over 10 years. As long as you clean them and take good care, they last forever. So I load a little bit of bronzer onto my blush brush, and then I just wet. See that line where your cheekbone is? Naturally mine don't stick out that much, so it's not like that obvious, but I want to make them look like they stick out more, and I go right through there with my bronzer, very lightly since I am pale. And then, so I don't look like a crazy person, I blend it up just a little bit. Okay, so you can see straight on especially the difference that makes. Now, so I don't just have this giant brown stripe down my cheek, I will follow up with my blush. One little tidbit with blush, see how crazy bright those colors are? They're crazy bright, okay, because it's all in the application with blush. I remember, it's been years, but I religiously watch What Not to Wear, which is probably no surprise. And I remember Carmody saying that you just want to get, even if it looks kind of scary, a bright blush and then apply it lightly. And that's going to be a lot more illuminating and look a lot better than buying like a really kind of drab colored blush and going gung-ho. So same brush that I used to do that little line down the side of my cheek, and I'm going to load it up pretty good with blush. These are both Sonia Kashuk from Target. I have a hard time spending a lot of money on blush. I should probably splurge a little more because I won't leave the house without it. Practically blush and a little bit of eyebrow filler, the two things that I do almost every day. But these have worked for me. I like them. The pigment stays well. And then just right above where I did the bronzer, I will do the blush down right on the bone of my cheek, and then kind of circle it on my fall of my cheek so that it looks like I am blushing. Okay, so right now looks a little cray. I've got a lot of color right there. so I follow up. Oh, and actually, one thing that I also do with my blush is a little bit right up there, because that's where if you get sun-kissed, you'll have a little bit of color too. And then I'm going to follow up to blend it in a little bit with my powder brush. Mine is starting to look a little bit sad. It's not quite round anymore, but like I said, 10 years old. This is the next one on my list to replace those, so if you have recommendations, I would love to hear. But I use, this is called mattifying powder. There we go. Mattifying powder, and it is incredible. It's another Arbonne product, but it is this funky green looking powder. You can see that, how green it is. And I use it to blend. I also use it at the end to set all of my face, because it keeps it from getting oily as quick. My face still gets oily because it is crazy oily, but it helps a lot. This also I use throughout the day. If like I just got home from work and I'm bugging the husband to take a few blog photos, instead of having to redo all of my foundation, I can put this on pretty thick, and it gets rid of all the shine, makes everything look fresh again. It's one of my favorite products. You'll find this one as well in my purse as my cosmetic bag. So I load that up pretty well and do just a nice blending around with that K. So next, oh, of course my phone is making noise. Next thing that I do is my eyebrows. I find that if I do my cheeks and my eyebrows first, I feel like I don't need to do nearly as much to play up my eyes. It's surprising that those two areas, which I feel like are probably the ones people skip over the most, to me make a really big difference. So for my eyebrows, I use an angled brush, and yep, there we go. This one actually you can still get, it's by TG, and it's designed for eyeliner, but I use it for my brows. I have a brow brush as well, but I find that the bristles are so coarse and it puts the powder on so heavy that I feel like I look like I drew my eyebrows on, which I don't want to look like. So I use the eyeshadow brush instead that's got an angle. And as far as the actual product that I use, I have had this kind of crusty looking, again, Arbonne brand palette for many a years, and I just have a shade of brown in there that I really like. So don't judge how dirty my palette is. See, it's got some love, but it is awesome colors. I've collected quite a few. So I just lightly load. I dab it in the powder and then dab it on a towel or a tissue or something to keep it from being too loaded with powder, and then to keep any extra powder from falling all over my face. And then I very carefully fill in my brow, which is a lot harder with a camera than I expected. So I'm going to use my computer, forgive me. And as far as eyebrows go, one thing to keep in mind, a thicker brow is one, kind of a trendy thing right now, and two, just looks better on your face. So I wax mine, which, I use this handy little product to wax with. It's like $8 and I get mine at Walmart. They don't give you enough strips for how much wax comes in the little thing, but I buy more strips and this lasts me almost a year, which is awesome. But I use that to wax my eyebrows, but I don't like try and do too much crazy with the shape. I find that the more you try and make your eyebrows exactly symmetrical, the smaller and smaller they seem to get, because this eyebrow on me has like a really steep arch and this one's kind of just there, and so I just go with the flow on the shape, and go pretty light, and just will light on tweezing and just fill them in with a little powder. Another little note with eyebrows, you want them to start, if you take a pencil, or in this case a brush, and line it up with your nostril and then make sure it crosses your eye, you want them to start right about there, and then again line up with your nose, the corner of your eye, and that's where they should about end. If they extend further into here, that's something you should probably take care of with a little bit of wax. Okay, so are you starting to see the differences on both sides of my face? You've got the eyebrows and the blush, and then the drab sad skin. Next, for my everyday look, oh, bye Sherlock. I keep it pretty simple. I tossed on a layer of mascara and call it a day for my face. So I use, for my everyday mascara, It's a Long Story, again by Arbonne. I love that if I sleep in it without taking it off, it doesn't make my eyes crazy puffy because I'm pretty sensitive to mascara. And it also just has a really awesome brush, which is really hard to get in focus, but a really awesome brush. So a quick coat of that. And ta-da! This half of my face is now my kind of everyday face. So this half of me is what you'd see on any given day. So real quick, I'm gonna turn off the camera and do my other side of the face to match it so I don't look crazy. Actually, you know what? I'll just go ahead and do full-blown blog face with the rest of this. So after I have done this much, the main thing that I really do for the blog is lipstick and then more eyeshadow, because right now if I take pictures my eyes are gonna look not very standoutish, which is also why you'll see me wearing sunglasses for many of my blog photos, because I come home and I look like this and I don't want to put on a pound of eye makeup for an outfit photo, so I throw on sunglasses instead. Blogger confession. But as far as eyeshadow goes, there are a few tools that I use pretty consistently. I have a powder brush, just a standard, I'll show you guys here too because it focuses better. Angled brush, same one I used on my eyebrows, I use on my eyes too. This is one of my most used brushes. This one is not necessary but is fun to have. It's a fluffier angle brush, still at an angle, but it's much thicker. And this one's also TG. And then this is a blending brush. See how it's a lot lighter and a lot less dense than this one? And so those are the 4 brushes that I have in my toolkit for eyes. And this is the one that I use the most. This is what I use for powder application, and this I use for blending it around. Okay, so for my blog look, I start with a kind of frosty pale beige, and do it right in the arch as kind of a highlight, like that. And since that looks crazy all by itself, I grab a matte beige, and from the crease of my eye up to my eyebrow, blend it in. To kind of negate the crazy of the highlight. So there's still, you can see it's still a little lighter under my brow, but it's not nearly as pale. Then I pick, it depends on the day, I rotate colors. I kind of just do what I feel like because I have a lot to choose from. But the main idea is to do a dark shade, and I'm going to use, for my blog look, Too Faced, The Return of Sexy. I like this one for blog photos. I like this one for going out. There is a little bit of powder fall away, but I'll show you my trick for that. And it's also all glitter. So I think I like the idea of the Naked palette better. I don't have one, but every shade in this has glitter in it. So it's a little bright. But I will be right back. I need to grab a tissue so that I can show you my trick because I use toilet paper because I'm fancy. So, okay, time in. So toilet paper is one of my favorite makeup tools. It is super duper handy and really cheap. So I use it to take off my eye makeup. I use it for all kinds of things. If you fold a piece of toilet paper long ways, this is one of my favorite friends when doing eye makeup. Because you can lodge it right under your lower lashes and close your eyes and then not worry about that powder fall away that gets underneath when you're putting on pretty heavy, highly pigmented eyeshadows. So, speaking of heavy, highly pigmented eyeshadows, today for this look I'm going to go with the browns and gold side. I'll be honest, I never use the black. I am really pale and it just doesn't look all that good on me, but I use those two sides, those two sides a lot. And so I will start with a medium to dark chocolatey brown, and that is going to go all over my eyelid. So, toilet paper in place. I use my angled brush with a pretty dark shade of chocolatey brown, darker than anything on my eyelids, and start doing the underneath. There we go. And for on top, I use a brush tip liquid eyeliner, which is awesome. I use, again, TG. They actually stopped making this, and when the salon told me they were, I bought a lot of them. I have like 5 stocked up. But I'll link a couple similar below that have also gotten good reviews. I just really liked this one, and I like that I get 40% off at the salon, so I buy salon things. So I have to get real close for this. So I hold my eyelid kind of taut and start with the outside and bring it in. And once I've got the kind of baby cat towel, I don't do like a big cat eye. I start on the inside. I like to do baby brush strokes, just little by little, until you get the line that you like. But you can see already how much this eye is standing out compared to this one. So now I do, this is white eyeliner, which sounds kind of wild. I have a nude one too that I do that's a little more mild. However, I accidentally flushed the lid down the toilet, so it's not in my makeup bag because I don't want to color everything nude right now. So I use the white, and I just pencil in and then kind of rub it around with my finger because I'm fancy like that. And that just brightens up your eyes a little bit, makes them pop. I learned that from like high school drama. That's what they did. And it's telling me I have 5 seconds left on my camera, so give me just a minute. Hey, okay, sorry about that. My memory card filled up because I am taking longer than I anticipated. I just finished up my mascara. I used the Unique Fiberlass Extension Mascara. That's what I have for blog photos. It's not an everyday mascara, but I do love it. And it does some pretty incredible lashes. The final step for blogs, or for blog pictures, or for like a night out or something, is lipstick. Or in some cases lip gloss. In real life, you will rarely find me wearing lipstick. I did just discover though, it's the matte Long Finish by Kate lipstick. It's by Rimmel, the Rimmel London. There's a black tube too. I like the black tube. I'm obsessed with the matte finish. It goes on really smooth, and it actually stays on my face, because if I wear normal lipstick or even highly pigmented gloss, it's going to be on my forehead like an hour later because I am just really skilled like that. Oh, just a minute, pup. Oh, puppy needs to join me. Come on, you can come up. Oh, yes. Say hello. Oh, hi, it's my baby. Yes, so cute. And so, in the interest of not looking like a crazy person, I'm just going to put the lipstick on my whole lips. I am not also very good at putting on lipstick, so trying to do half would be probably comical. But I just use lipstick, or the stick. I don't use a lip brush or anything. But I start on the bottom lip. Okay, my crusty skin, you can see it up close now. I didn't do very full coverage because I don't have a mirror, so the camera's the best I got. I start on the inside. And make my way to the outside. And then
start on the points, like so. And since I inevitably put lipstick all over my face, my favorite little beauty tip with lipstick is Q-tips. I use a lot of Q-tips in my bathroom, and not just to clean up my ears, despite the warnings that tell you not to, but I just go on the outer edge and clean it up and get any of that crazy mess that I got all over my face off. And as a final little touch, I usually will then follow up, because even though I got the lipstick off, I usually still am a little bit pink, and just do a little bit of powder right up next door before blog photos, to get rid of any pink and just to make sure that everything's in order. Okay, well, that is this half is my blog face. When I'm not talking to you and explaining everything, I usually take about 15 to 20 minutes to get the full face done. My everyday face is literally like 3 or 4 minutes. I'm not patient enough to go crazy with it. Now I'm gonna just turn off the camera and do the other half of my face. For me. One other note, I don't do my bottom lashes, but if you do, I love the Arbonne mascara, or I also really love, man, my tube looks kind of gross, but Lash Discovery by Maybelline. It has this itty bitty teeny tiny brush that is like a huge chore to use for your upper lashes, but works wonders on your lower lashes. So I really love that one for that. And then I'm going to do again, coat of the transplant gel, coat of the fibers. And I found after trial and error with this, and of course after I did it a few times and then read the instructions, it works best to do one whole eye and then the other eye, because if you wait too long after the transplanting gel to put the fibers on, they don't stick all that well. So load it on up. Should do like gifs of all of the most attractive faces in this and make them like go back and forth. Coat of the fibers, and brush it out to avoid spider lashes. It's just is gonna get any of those crazy extra clumps off. I really like on lazy days, where I'm still trying to look a little human. Okay, so that is that. One other little tidbit that works for me, I am not very good at putting on mascara. It usually either ends up on my nose, ends up on my the creases in my eyes, and so I have found that my blending brush, which I didn't even use with you guys today, sometimes I use it to cake some white powder in the corner of each eye, and that works really well if you don't have a white pencil, but I really love the white pencil. Is I actually will grab like whatever color is in the crease that's a little more medium, so today's case the gold, and just re-go over my crease and blend really, really well. And if I have little like spots of mascara, they just kind of like disappear. I make sure and clean this brush often because I think the brush just might be picking them up. But it saves you, I like to do my mascara last so I don't get a bunch of loose powder on it, and kind of make them look less defined because they collected all of that fallout. But keeps me from having to essentially do my eyeshadow over again, which I really love. So brush colored powder and just blend like crazy, and that works for me really well to get rid of those little speckles of mascara that always inevitably seem to end up on the lid of my eyelash.
Well, that is that. This is my vlogging face, date night face. If you have any comments or any recommendations, things like that, I'd love to hear. Questions, feel free to leave them below. I kind of love to chit chat makeup if that's not prevalent yet. And if you guys have more questions, more looks you kind of want to learn, things like that, let me know, and I am open to shooting more videos if this was helpful. So thanks so much for listening, watching, I suppose, and yeah, yeah.